this first dip, you'd be excused for buying that dip. Okay, it didn't work out. It was just corrective, and then we broke down again. But then after that, guys, like, this is a downtrend. There's nothing to buy here. At best, we're just doing bounce trades. And I talk about that on my channel. I'm like, like, if it's worth it for a 2x, consider a trade here. Consider a short-term trade. Have your stop losses ready and stuff like that, and see. Now, again, before we discuss short-term bounce opportunities, which we're going to go on to now, next point, and probably my final learning point, news events. Let's talk about that. News events. So if you type in tariffs, you'll hear the news about the tariffs, and that's the whole reason we're dumping. Doesn't work that way. There were some very suspicious, obviously, trades just before this all kind of dumped. But regardless of that, let me show you how news works, or how it's been working the last couple of years. And like, I'm hoping you might be taking 1 or 2 notes here. But news, this is what I've learned, especially this cycle. So when something suddenly happens, then you can absolutely get, crashes, or you can get rallies when you weren't expecting it. But sometimes what happens with news is they tell you before the fact what's going to happen, and they give you a date. If this is a hugely bearish event, in theory, expect the opposite. If it's a hugely bullish event, in theory, like on the 1st of November, the Ethereum ETFs are gonna blah, 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 and it's supposed to be bullish. And then what happens every single time when we get to that point? Everybody on crypto Twitter is like, oh my God, what's going on? I thought the ETFs were gonna blah, blah, blah. Guys, it's just herding sheep, trapping them, taking them to the slaughter. It happens again and again and again in the markets. And I don't blame them for doing it, because it's just so easy to trap retail all the time. You guys need to wise up with this stuff. Like, this is the system with news. If it's sudden and stuff like that, and you get sudden bullish news, and we're near a low and stuff starts running, yeah, you absolutely bid that. And the opposite if we're near tops here. But watch out for the news exactly and check whether it's bearish or bullish. So for example, bullish news might be on exactly 28th of October, the tariffs will be removed, and that's a scheduled event and stuff like that.